Hello, how are you? JoeHart here, person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. Been quite a time since I have talked, about the Idaho 4. And it's been quite a while. And, life so often, I guess just the way I do my life, but life so often seems to be a blur sometimes. And I do believe last night at this morning at 2 a.m. is when, Ashley Banfield, who, people have their opinions about her. And I'm, I have my opinion about her. One, she's gorgeous, but that's neither here nor there. And I don't know why I think that, but I do. And she's, it's sometimes she's sensationalistic. Anyway, whatever. Everybody has their opinion. Nobody will be able to talk anybody into or out of their opinion about Ashley Banfield. But she certainly. Maybe we'll start with her stuff. And when she announced it last night, she was really going to town with the trolls. Or I rarely think trolls are trolls. I think they're opinionated and they have different opinions and things like that. Bee Survivor, how are you? I'm back on screen. Hello. So as I was just saying, it's been a while since I've talked extensively about, or talked at all about the Idaho 4. And so I just wanted to go over it. Anyway, I'm sure it's going to evolve how the format of this meeting, of this stream will go. And of course, that will be interactive. I'm good. How are you doing? I'm doing okay. It's been a lot of stuff going on. I did a stream. Golly, this is all such a blur. Let me just look. Let me go off screen. Make sure it was early this morning that Ashley Banfield did this. 13 hours ago. So yeah, it was before that. Let me see what time she did it. I think it was 2 something. 2:18 is when she tweeted this. And I started doing my research. I didn't take her word for it or anything, but I just, started doing my research. And then, I couldn't sleep last night. I went to bed at, I don't ever usually know when I go to bed, but probably 11 p.m., midnight. And at about 3 a.m., I was wide awake. So I guess it was right after Ashley. I mean, I didn't telepathically hear about Ashley's tweet and wake up. I was stressing out about the Formula One race, which was scheduled to be in Emilia Romagna region in Italy. Excuse me. As usual, I'm choking. Sorry, I don't like talking with a lozenge in my mouth, but I can't clear my throat. So I was just doing a lot of tweeting about Ashley. And like I said, Ashley, I don't call them trolls, but I have always had the opinion that I think about, don't choke. Geez. Amen. Thank you so much. That really helps. anyway, so yeah, I woke up at 3, wide awake, upset about Formula One. They still had the race scheduled. There's been some really extreme weather in that region over the past couple of weeks, less, maybe a week and a half. Real extreme rain, extreme flooding. There was, I've verified 3 deaths, but I guess I've been hearing people say that there's 5 deaths, but more than zero deaths. And but you know, you get online and you do research and stuff, and you know, there's videos everywhere. There's devices everywhere, and so you see these grandfathers carrying their grandkids, you know, out of the house, and they, you know, they weren't walking in ankle deep water or waist deep water or neck deep water. They had to swim. They could not walk out of that. So anyway, it was tremendous. And you know, you're thinking all the millionaires and billionaires want to, you know, the dollar, the almighty dollar, the show must go on. And I'm like, that, come on, you've got to be smarter than that. And today, you know, today's today's Wednesday, and this was kind of the day for them. I'm sorry, I'm talking about another thing. So anyway, I thought yesterday was the appropriate day. Today was actually the day because people are traveling. You know, they're paying for their flights and their hotels, and it's not about money, but that's an aspect of it. So you do have to. Anyway, today was the day, and it's 6 hours ahead. So I get up at 3. I do Banfield. I do, you know, and I said, "F it, I'm going to just start streaming." And you know, it wasn't like a strike or anything, but I was going to just stream until they make the announcement. And I was cocky or confident or uninformed or whatever. You know, I was like, they are going to make the announcement. And I'm like, they're also 3 hours late. So this is going to be a short stream. So I don't know when I started. I think I started at, I don't know when, 6:20 or 6:40 or something like that. And it's 6 hours ahead. So this is just afternoon. Again, travel days, people start traveling way before noon. People get up at 6 or 8 or 10 in the morning, way before noon. So I was pissed off. But anyway, I was streaming and I was doing a lot of research. I was showing the pictures, and I was showing, you know, the insider, you know, teams. One of the teams, you know, there's 10 teams, and one of the teams, their headquarters was underwater. Was you know, they were suffering. One of the teams were. So but again, you know, you don't feel for billionaires. You go, oh gee, bummer, you need to buy another building, and oh gee, boy, I feel so sorry for you. But again, that's the aspect of what was happening. So anyway, I think I ultimately streamed for about an hour and 20 minutes, and they did announce it. And I was doing this over-under thing. I was like, I think the over-under is 2 p.m. And I said, I really think the over-under was noon, which was, you know, 40 minutes ago. But I said, and 2 p.m. was like 43 minutes from there. So I said, I bet the over-under is 2 p.m. I bet in 43 minutes, they're going to make an announcement. And, you know, and they're showing pictures, you know, they're showing the paddocks, and, you know, Formula One stuff was fine, but there's supporting series, Formula 2, Formula 3, and others, Porsche. So there's 3 other supporting series. Their paddocks were under 12 inches or more of rain. Their paddock, their workspace was under about 12 inches of rain. You know, some idiots were thinking, well, it'll dry up and they can vacuum it out and they can, you know, work. And Formula Ones didn't look so horrible. So everybody's like, well, the gods are okay, so we don't have to worry about the peons. But anyway, they're showing the meetings. They show the 10th. They said the powers that be are meeting in there. And then they did leak. They didn't leak, but they said in advance to an official, you know, so this is Formula One, FIA, the, oh, dang. So, yeah, man, thank you. So this is, you know, the every Grand Prix has a a board of directors. So Emilia Romagna, GP, powers that be, and then Italy, the ministers and the prime minister, the ministers, and they're all meeting. And so and there, I can tell what media people are insiders and they know their stuff and they don't jump the gun, and which ones are outsiders that don't know their stuff and they do jump the gun. Now, for this situation, I kind of expanded, for Koberger, I want the facts. I want the facts. I want the facts. I don't want to put shit out there that's not correct. But this, I was like, we can expand it. We can show, there's so many people on the internet, on live streaming, there's so many people that are into sarcasm, and I've got a PhD in sarcasm and I am so fucking funny. They think they're just the funniest person in the world. I hate sarcasm, as we know. It comes from the Greek word sarkasma, and it means tearing of the flesh. It's not funny. It's not humorous. So anyway, there's a ton of pictures out there that are fake. They're not really pictures of the Italian GP circuit. There's other parts. It's a rain. Just there's memes and sarcasm. So you don't really know. I mean, if I spent enough time on it, I could figure out which ones were real, which ones were fake, and just post the real ones. And I'm like, no. We can expand it and show some of the, So I didn't go crazy. I've just loosened the reins a bit of having to verify and re-verify and re-verify a third time. Anyway, they're saying, one of the insiders said, prior to an official announcement, I'm going to butcher the paraphrase, but something along the lines, the Italian minister of not sports or motorsports or anything like that, but the minister of economic development or something, was a pretty reputable, it's a minister. I forget, but it said prior to the official announcement, the Italian minister of blah, 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 blah has suggested that they cancel the Grand Prix. And I'm like, hallelujah, because they're the authority. Formula One, FIA, the GP, they all have millions of dollars invested, but it's about money. The Italy, that's where the deaths are happening. That's where the flooding. So anyway, sure as shit, they did make an announcement before 2:00. I won my own over-under. I was the only one that bet in the whole series. I got the under. It was less than 2 p.m. And, and then Sifa happened to drop in. And of course I started crying because I was all over the place. I was a wreck. I was a wreck that they were thinking of doing this effing race just for money. And I love Formula One and I hate NASCAR. And I'm still tracking NASCAR, but it's been 2 weeks. And I'm like, I want Formula One. And I wanted it so bad this weekend. And I have so many things that I was going to do. I was going to do the weather and the triple header of the series and the triple header of the dates. And I had all this stuff that I wanted to do for Formula One. And I'm like, they've got to cancel. They've got to cancel. So anyway, they did. So anyway, I signed off at about 8 a.m. Oh, Joe. Yeah. I cried. I mean, it was, and I didn't know what I was saying. Sifa's there and I said, I am so sad. And I went, that's wrong. I'm not sad. I'm happy. I am so happy this happened. And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm not sad. That was the wrong word, and so anyway, it was, so I logged off at the announcement was at 7:16. It took me 44 minutes to log off at 8:00. I wanted to get off and go to sleep, but Sifa was there and we were talking and stuff. And so it was okay. But I get off at 8. I go to sleep. I was wide awake at 3 a.m. So I went back to sleep and then I woke up and stuff. And then kind of the same thing happened with Koberger. I'm like, okay, now let's get back to Ashley Banfield. And, now, before I went to bed, NBC started reporting it, so we didn't have to worry about whether Ashley Banfield was reliable or not, or sensationalistic or not. I mean, she called it a secret grand jury. That sucks. She's a inappropriate person to call it a secret grand jury. They're all secret. But she said the word twice. And I mean, that's not cool. It's not a secret grand jury. You can say grand jury. And the people that are informed about grand juries know that no one ever finds out about it. They don't find out when it was set up, who was put on it, who was, you never find out about it, which is good. You don't want the people on the jury to be in danger. But anyway, she's calling it. So anyway, whatever. So pretty quickly, it was like, okay, Ashley Banfield's right. She got her information early, and this is right. This is completely right. So I woke up and got of course I printed up. I've got the thing here, and I read it, and I highlighted it, and all that kind of stuff. And I have a tab for it and stuff. Ashley annoys me greatly. And that's fine. We all have our opinions about Ashley. I kind of think, I think it's about, like when politics became really, overwhelmingly important in everybody's life, it was, not only was there a lot of, divisiveness in the world, but you could never talk anybody into something. So I'm like, it's useless to talk politics because I'll never talk someone else into my opinion, and they'll never talk me into their kind of opinion. So why do we even, why discuss it? And, I now think that's in most situations, like me trying to talk someone into NASCAR, it's just not going to work. That's not a good example, but like Ashley Banfield, if I like her, if I don't like her, I don't think I'll ever change anybody else's opinion, and they'll never change my opinion. Although mine has evolved. I, of course, just was attracted to her for some odd reason. I don't think she's gorgeous, but I'm, so I started watching it religiously for many weeks. And then I'm like, well, she was wrong on a couple of things she said. I didn't like that, and then she'd be wrong on a couple other things. And then she would project, and then she'd speculate or not speculate. I mean, she'd do that too, but she would sensationalize. It's not an effing secret grand jury. It's a grand jury. It's not secret. It's not secret. Don't call it secret. So anyway, what I had planned, and I'm sorry, I'm already 17 minutes into it, and I only have talked about Formula One mainly. But that was overwhelming. I'm glad they canceled. I don't know what to do this weekend. I'm like, holy moly, I don't want to cover NASCAR. It's this all-star game. For football, there's the Pro Bowl, and basketball, they have the all-star midway, and baseball has, everybody's like, why do they do that? Those are the dumbest things in the world. And plus I hate NASCAR. So I'm like, I don't want to watch the all-star. So, anyway, I'm sure I'll find plenty to do this weekend, including probably going to do a couple streams about, she sensationalizes everything. Yeah, I mean, and, like, she's like, here, and you're my good friends, and I really like you, so I'm going to let you in on it. Come back. After the commercials, come back and watch me. And I like her. I'm sure her not being ugly is one of the reasons I like her. But, and that's shallow, and that's male, and that's blah, 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 whatever. But yeah. She definitely sensationalizes a bunch of stuff. The secret grand jury. So anyway, I'm going to, I have some things tagged up. So I'm not really up on the Nightbots. LOL, seriously, it's funny. Oh yeah, it is pretty. She is. I mean, I don't think she's humble, and she's defacing. Not defacing. What's that word where you denigrate yourself? Not that word. That she's. I don't think she's humble, and she's doing it. Not defame. What's that word? Anyway, I don't think she's doing it. I think she doesn't know how ridiculous it could possibly look, as opposed to, hey guys, I'm goofy, so just follow along with my goofiness. I think she really does. She leans into the microphone. I don't see a microphone. It's probably on her chest, on her shirt. But I don't see her microphone. But she leans in like she's telling us a little secret. So anyway, Nightbots. most of them, of course, earlier in the week, they're not current. And then as the week goes by, they become more current and applicable. So, yeah, as usual. Okay, so I'm going to start with Ashley Banfield. I'm going to do it chronologically in the way it happened to me. So I'm going to go off. Let's see here. So let's take that off. Take my banners off. I might leave the ticker on because I don't think that blocks anything. I'm going to leave that just for the heck of it. So I'm going to go full screen. I'm going to go full screen layout. So I go off the screen so you don't see me, but now I'm going to go off screen so I don't see you all. So in 3, 2, 1, I'm off screen. So I'm on Twitter's page for Ashley Banfield. And this is what started for me. I think it sure seemed like she was the first to break this. So it was this morning at 2:18 in the morning. So that is 14 hours and 15 minutes ago. 14 hours and 15 minutes ago. And look at those numbers. She had 267.9 thousand views. She had 249 retweets. She had 83 quotes. She had 1552 likes. She had 43 bookmarks. I have no idea what a bookmark is, but I know most of those things. So anyway, her name is Ashley Banfield. Her handle is TV Ashley. And it says hashtag breaking news on hashtag Brian Kohlberger. Sources tell me the Idaho murders, hashtag Idaho murders suspect has been indicted by a secret hashtag Grand Prix and hashtag Moscow, Idaho. She's like me with those hashtags. She does a lot. He will be arraigned on Monday morning in district court. They will no longer, she means there will no longer be a preliminary hearing on June 26th. Hashtag University of Idaho, hashtag Idaho4. Man, she's just like me with those. I read it before. I don't remember reading it. So that's the beginning. I don't know what a bookmark is either. Be survivor. Don't you be funny. You don't know anything on Twitter. You don't do Twitter. You're being funny, right? Come on, of course. I don't know what a bookmark is either. You're not on Twitter. Okay, cool. But I mean, it reflects much worse on me because I'm on Twitter and I've been on it forever and I use it tremendously and I don't know what the hell they are. I don't know what the hell they are. So so let me just read this. This is what I tapped out. This was kind of my original post, but kind of edited. So it's, as I always say, I'm not a good writer, but I'm a almost quite excellent editor. So I'm OCD, I'm perfectionistic. So if I wait until it's perfect, I'll never post it. So I need to just post something like throwing the spaghetti up onto the wall, just post anything and then edit it as it goes along. That's probably why the Nightbots bother me so much. Not that they're out of date, but that they're not fine-tuned and edited and all that stuff. Anyway, so this is kind of the first post, but kind of the first edit. So catching up on Kohlberger. Grand jury indictment appears advantage to prosecution. Cancels June 26th prelim hearing. Real court case, probably to start earlier. Still researching. Invisible disabilities. JoeHart PwD's. So that's kind of, that's kind of up to date and stuff. But anyway, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go back to her stuff. I mean, I don't know if you like, anyway, okay, let's look at her stuff. Uh-oh, what happened? TV Ashley. So let's just go down her stream. Let's see if she's posted anything else, because I think I want to go down that thread and show all the May 15th. Holy shit. When's that? 2 days ago. May 12th. Holy shit. She doesn't tweet at all. God, every 3 days. What the hell is that? But anyway, okay, so let's go back to the one I read and then look at all her, I would say she's a B+ with trolls. She confronts, she acknowledges, she doesn't back away, she challenges them, So I would say a B plus. So I think I have to go off first, and then it does a thread. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is it. So that's the original. And then it goes, I can't tell if this is tweet your reply. Now it's been I've been way out of the loop. So I won't even get Brian Koberger. BK, I'll forget what BK is. And Kylie Gonzalez, and I won't know how to pronounce it. All of it is gone out of my head. So a couple of these tweets have abbreviations, and I'll probably butcher trying to guess who they are. So I apologize for that in advance. The first one I saw, I have no idea who it is. I might try to free flow for a couple of seconds, but I don't want to get stuck on it too much. Am I in the screen? Oh, there I am. Okay. So, okay. So let's, and I like I said, I like Ashley, and, the actual indictment is, 3 pages. It's a pretty Kaylee, not Kylie. I didn't mean to say Kylie. I meant to say Kaylee, but okay. I believe you. Oh my God, I made a mistake. And I think it's very disrespectful. I mean, it is. I mean, these are real people. They're not just victims. But anyway, that's the way my mind works. I need it drilled into my head all the time. So yeah, Madison Mogan, MM, Kaylee Gonzalez, I think that's a hard C, KG, Xana Kernodle, XK, and Ethan Chapin, I think is how you say it, EC. So hopefully I'll recall or remember those abbreviations. This first one, I won't know who it is. So you can laugh at me again about messing it up. So anyway, let's see here. So let's go. I'm on the screen for you all to see me, but I'm also on the screen to see you all. So I'm going to go back off. I'm going to go back to Twitter in 3, 2, 1. I am now on her screen. So it says, Marina Archetype Reader, which is Archetype Reader. Why is no one explaining the significance of this? This is all Chinese Mandarin to me. So there's a GK, a grand jury indictment, and no hearing. So what? I have no idea what it means. Is this a big deal or just a headline? I don't have a law degree. Ashley Banfield says, it means he's now officially indicted and will enter a plea. We were waiting for a June 26, 3 to 5 day prelim hearing. Really, it's only officially 1 day, but they set aside tentatively all 5 days. But the judge specifically said it's scheduled for 1 day. So 3 to 5 day preliminary hearing with witnesses and testimony and info to prove to judge a trial is warranted. Instead, prosecutors chose grand jury. Now we don't get the info, but he's in court Monday. Ashley, will it be televised? Is this a good or bad thing? Well, it depends if you think he's innocent or not. Of course. Yes, likely televised Monday. I don't know how she knows that. Would it really be televised? Anyway, I hope it is. I don't think they owe us anything. It'd be nice if it is. So yes, likely televised Monday. Just an appearance to enter a plea. Then they'll set a trial date. It's a good thing if you think he's guilty. Bad thing if you're Koberger. The bummer is that the June 26th prelim goes away. So we won't hear details because grand juries are secret. She loves that word. I will wait for the real report, he said. The Stop Terry, I will wait for the real reporters before I believe this. And then Ashley Banfield, 2 hours ago, she waited 11 hours to respond. She says, you were saying, and there's the indictment. Of course, she. And then Rachel Harold at Outlook.com. TV Ashley, don't even respond to those haters. You're doing an amazing job. I've been following you since the onset of News Nation. Keep it up. Thank you, Rachel. These sources, LOL. And then Ashley says, what's funny to Elizabeth Barnhart? Bear chance gift. Let me go back off screen. I'm not going to lie. I was pretty shocked. They must have something we don't know about because it seems so random. And amen. I'm not going to lie. I was pretty shocked. They must have something we don't know about because it seems so random. And, I'm shocked too, because it's like, whoa, June 26th doesn't exist. I was going to drive out there. Now with a trial, that's for weeks. So that's a commitment. If I go out, if I went out for June 26th, it could be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days, and then I'll be done until the trial. So that'd be like, oh, that money for nothing or for something, for those days. But with a trial, then it will be worth it probably to go out if I go out. So anyway, what is getting me is it sounds like, and this is just beginning on the research. I want it to go live. I want it to read I hope to read this. I really do want to read this. We were reading 196-page things, and this is 3 pages, and it just eliminated a preliminary hearing. So, I think it's worth it to read every word, including all punctuation. So I hope to get to that. But anyway, they must have, I'll get to, hold on. So they must have something to, anyway, what I'm hearing with my preliminary research is that grand juries are, the quote is, a grand jury can indict a ham sandwich. I don't know why someone picked ham sandwich, but that's the famous quote. And, but it sounds like to me that grand juries are hugely in the favor of the prosecutor, not the defense. Like it's not a two-sided thing. It's a one-sided thing. So so that's what shocks me. It's like, how can, and I don't know how the law works. I don't know if the prosecutor can say, hey, I'm sure there's positive and negatives to everything. Like if they cancel the preliminary hearing, I'm sure the prosecutor loses something. But it sounds like they gain a lot with a grand jury. But anyway, so that's what kind of shocks me is that, the defense now seems to have no word in the matter or very little word in the matter, or they can't offer, it's a grand jury. There's no witnesses. There's no, facts or whatever that's called. Anyway, Ashley just said it. I'm forgetting what the words are. So, and now... Right, it's basically steamrolling him. It seems pretty wild. And I know your opinion, or so it says, so you said that your opinion has evolved over the last few days, weeks, months. And I'm nowhere there. I have a rather strong opinion about Brian Kohlberger, but none of us know, of course, but I do want to get back into those panels and get people talking. And, I'd love to hear your perspective and, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think that's right. So, so B Survivor says, and now I assume Bethany doesn't have to meet with his lawyers. So I think that's pretty interesting as well. I don't know. I did go to Idaho. I have trouble finding that website every freaking time that I want to print up a document. But I found the document, and this indictment thing, which just happened, which is super hot off the press. And I got on their list of all their documents. I didn't count them at all. I didn't even estimate, but it looked like probably 150, 175, 200 documents for Kohlberger, for Idaho, not for Pennsylvania, just for, just tons. So there's this hot off the press indictment where there's 5 more documents since then, since yesterday. So I'm like, holy moly, they're just, so anyway, I know nothing but this. I didn't read any of the others. somewhere, I don't think it's on this one, but somewhere it does say the 22nd was set up. I printed up something else that I was going to do a stream about that said, the 22nd is set up and the 25th of those are May. May 22nd is set up and May 25th is canceled. So anyway, I assume there's documents, if Bethany's thing is canceled, I'm sure there's a document saying it. They can't just cancel it. So, but I didn't read them at all. I would hope, I don't know. I would assume she's not off the hook until, the lawyer says she's off the hook. But I have no idea. I just read the one thing. I'm interested to get into those other ones for sure. So, right, it's basically steamrolling him. It feels like, again, preliminary, it feels like nothing he can do. Yeah, this is weird. Now, he did want to do, originally he wanted to, when he was in Pennsylvania, he wanted to hurry up and get back to Idaho so he could be exonerated. And then when they set up June 26th, I'm like, if he's innocent, why is he willing to be in jail for 5 months? And then, so anyway, I think he still wants to speed things up because he thinks he'll get off, or, whatever, whatever he thinks. It seems like he wants it to go faster. And even with the lawyers, I guess he now has 5 lawyers or whatever. Nerdy Addict is going crazy about that is so much money, and who said they can have all that? Nerdy Addict is the dude I streamed when we watched the plane bring Koberger from Pennsylvania to Idaho. And that was Nerdy Addict. I didn't really know much about him. I seem to like him, but I haven't watched him a bunch. But anyway, he's talking about the taxpayers' money for all these lawyers. So she was supposed to meet with them this month, and I thought I wrote it down. I think I have it written down somewhere. But yeah, she's going to meet them where she lives, which is like Utah or Las Vegas, Nevada or something. I think it's Utah or something like that. So I thought I wrote it down. Maybe I didn't. But yeah, it I think it was pretty soon. So we don't know. Hey Neil, how you doing? I'm just trying to go over some of this stuff, and B Survivor's gotten some great comments. B Survivor, Brian's attorney says she had evidence that could exonerate him, and she didn't want to meet with them, but ultimately came up with a date in Nevada, her home this month. Yeah, I think that's a separate thing. I don't think it cancels just because they had a grand jury. Like the grand jury is just to say, do we have enough? You just accuse them. The formal statement is BCK is accused by the grand jury of the crimes of, so he's just being accused of them. So anything to exonerate them, can still come in the regular case. So I'm assuming Bethany, I don't know if there's other reasons that Bethany can somehow get out of that, but I think it's a separate issue with what little information or, knowledge and information I know about grand juries, but I think it's a separate issue. I think they need to excuse her from that before she doesn't have to do it. I think she still needs to do it. So, but I don't know. So, and then B Survivor says, Hey Neil, what is it? 451. Neil, when is the first race is 5:45. Wow, what's that? 54 minutes. I was hoping to get done before then, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna. In my world, I think this is a little more important than ASA Stars and whatever the other one is. Cars. That's the name of the series. Is Cars. They're not Cars. It's CARS. But then this happened, so who knows now? Yeah, weird. Yeah, I don't know. But again, I'm interested, and I think I have that. Let me see. Idaho. There it is. Sorry, I'm off screen. Ah! Sorry, got into stream down again. So today's the oh. This was supposed to be really quick, folks. Sorry about that. So 516 has 1, 2, 3, 4 documents. 517 has 2 documents. So yeah, let's look at that. Let me go back to and we can click on them too if we want. Okay, so let me stop that screen and hide that currently. And present, share screen. And I haven't done anything with this, so I have no idea what any of this stuff is. So let me see. So I might go off screen so that it might expand it enough for you all to read it if you want. And we can click on things, but I just don't know what they're going to do. And it doesn't have to be just during the last couple of days. I think, I mean, if there is a change, it probably happens since this started happening. Anyway, let me go off screen. So I'll do full screen layout. And then I'll go off screen in 1, 2, 3. I'm now off screen. So, okay, I'm going to start at the bottom. Or, I'm going to jump up to, I'm going to start at, May 11th. That's just a random date I'm picking. 6 days ago, May 11th. So there's 1, 2, 3, 3 documents for May 11th. Then there's 2 documents for May 12th. And then May 16th, there's 4 documents, with the indictment being the second one. And then May 17th, there's 2 documents. So I guess I would like to maybe start on the 11th and see if we can figure out anything from the title of, this is the title of the document, like it's usually the title of the actual document too. But anyway, if any of these refer to Bethany or anything. So May 11th, objection to motion, have no idea. May 11th, notice of remote hearing. I think remote hearing is, we can click on that. That might be the May 22nd, this Zoom thing, this for the Gonsalves family. Our remote could be Bethany. And then May 11th, reply to Mr. Koberger's objection, have no idea. May 12th, state's response. May 12th, state's response. May 16th, order denying motion to reconsider. Have no idea what it's about. May 16th, indictment redacted. That's the one I printed up and I'd like to read. May 16th, notice of hearing criminal. Don't know. May 16th, order governing courthouse and courtroom conduct. Don't know. May 17th, motion to send to seal grand jury witnesses. That's not Bethany, I don't think. Motion to seal grand jury witnesses. Wow, I didn't think they had witnesses, but what if they, and I'm just going by the title. I have no idea what it's saying. But what if they brought Bethany as a witness just so they could seal her? Wouldn't that be bizarre? So anyway, May 17th, motion to seal grand jury witnesses and order to seal grand jury witnesses. So let me go back on screen. So yeah, I might go, let's see here. Let's click on that one. Let's do notice of remote hearing. And that might be notice to compel discovery. May 22nd, 11 a.m. I thought it was 9, but it is Zoom, so that might be it. And this is for Gonsalves, I think. I can't really tell. I mean, I don't want to spend too. I get too uptight. It's I don't want to. There's too many people. It just. So I'm sorry that I don't spend a bunch of time. Motion to compel discovery. Anyway, oh, that's not showing. That's another screen. I'm sorry. I thought it that's another screen. So that would be interesting. You mean, okay, so I thought when I clicked on it, it stayed on the same screen. So let me stop that screen and let's present the one I clicked on. It's not really telling me much. But I'm just not up to speed on everything. So everything just, I think Bethany's was the 23rd. That might be, what's that, 6 days from now? I doubt if they can cancel it. But let's see, is Bethany's Bethany meeting? No, it's canceled. Bethany Zianzik, what's her last name? Ciantic. I don't know how to do a research for this. What's it called? What's it officially called? Bethany Zantic, or I can't think of her name. Anyway, Funky is Bethany Funky, and I'm going to just call it meeting because I'm not seeing the formal legal. So is Bethany Funk meeting canceled? So there's a ton of stuff that came up from April 27th, April 28th, April 27th, April 26th, April 28th. Nothing current. 24th, 27th, 26th, 28th, 22nd. 3 weeks ago, April 25th. 3 weeks ago, February 22nd. February 22nd. So none of those are in the last 24 hours. So yeah, so since and again, I'm just going by I'm just guessing. All of this is just guessing. I guess I'm feeling a little sensitive about guessing on things today, but I'm just guessing that if there's nothing that came up on my search except for all those the exact same day, they were all April 24th through 28th, nothing after April 28th. Because I think 3 weeks is the same thing. Yeah, that would be about the same area. So I'm thinking if it didn't come up, then nothing has changed. So, I'm sure a lot of things happen behind. I think a lot of things. I'm sure a lot of things go behind closed doors, and so it's it's behind closed doors. So I'm sure someone gave Bethany a heads up. Hey, this is going to happen. And then they probably discussed, hey, how's that going to affect me? And I don't know what they said. They probably said, we have no idea. Or nothing. You need to get that canceled by some other reason. It's not going to be canceled because of the grand jury. So, and she's agreed to this. I mean, it sounds like she was, I can't think of that word, but she was made to agree to it. She didn't want to do anything, and then she was required to. So be survivor. You're fine, Joe. I don't think any of us know what's going on. Yeah, for sure. And so anyway, maybe we'll What's that? Is that the I'm going to go off screen. I don't know. I forget what this is. Okay. So yeah, maybe I'll try to read this as quickly as possible, and then we'll maybe read the indictment, and then maybe Ashley Banley or something like that. So we'll see. So this is what date did we say it was? Page 2 of 2. It's 2 pages long. May 11th. So 6 days ago. The state of Idaho versus BCK. Notice is given that the above entitled case is set for hearing type. Motion to compel discovery. May 22nd, 11 a.m. Megan Marshall. The motion hearing will take place remotely through video conference. How to attend. Online, meeting idea, and password. Boy, it sounds like anybody can do that. Wow. Hey, get a Zoom. Let's all get in there. You must appear using video with stable internet connection. If you're unable to do so or you require accommodations, blah, 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 blah. Holy shit. Are they really offering that to everybody? I mean, they give the meeting ID number and the password. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice password. So I don't believe that's related to what's her name? Bethany. So let's stop that screen. And then get in there. Amen. Well, you can get it. I mean, it's open. It appears that it's open. Now, I didn't read every single word, so there might have been a super small word that says, to all lawyers involved in this case. And then they stated, it sounded like they were offering it to everybody. You have Zoom. Everybody has Zoom. That would be wild. Yeah, man, get in there. It's a Zoom. Just, and I guess they're saying you have to be on screen. I think that's what they mean. They called it a video, and then they said stable. I think they're focusing on the word video. They're in Idaho. They can't require stable. Internet just sucks everywhere. So, but yeah, it's I think they're saying you have to be on screen. You cannot just listen. So, which I don't care. They can see me. So they can get used to me for when I come out there for the case, the trial. I guess it's called the trial. So, but yeah, I don't know. I thought, so now that was May 22nd, and I don't like guessing on things. I like it in front of me, but I'm going to be guessing because I don't have it in front of me. I thought the scheduling conference on May 22nd was at 9, not 11. And it was focused on the Gonzalez or Goncalves family. And I think the gag thing, I think that's what it's about, is they're against the gag thing. But so anyway, I'm a little confused, I guess is the word. I'm confused about the 2 different times, 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Is there really 2 things going on that day? Or is one of them for sure going to be over within 2 hours so people can do both? Anyway, it just seems weird. And I don't think that's what it was called. I don't think it was called, what was it called? Notice of remote hearing. It's called scheduling conference is what it's supposed to be called. So, boy, it'd be interesting if we could figure out that. Okay, so let's do the indictment. Uh-oh, did I already have it up there? Woohoo! I could be wrong, so So what? Get in there. That would be wild, LOL. Oh, yeah, on screen. Never mind. And I mean, you know me. I'm really into accommodations and ADA, Americans with this. I mean, I'm sure there's accommodations that are available to both you and I where things are not, or, for anybody, that it wouldn't be required that there's exceptions. So I would imagine not everybody has to be on screen. That's just a pat, they just made a statement. And I'm sure there's ways around it. They can search your IP address and make sure you're a real person. And, I'm sure they can go, okay, they're validated. They can be on here, so I could be wrong. So LOL. Wrong with what? I was trying to figure out what you were wrong for. About not going on the screen? Oh, yeah, on screen. Never mind. That would be wild. Get in there. You're right, fine. I don't think any of us know what's going on. Interesting. Funky, I think. Anyway. Oh, about Bethany's being canceled? I don't know what you could be wrong about. I don't think like you said, we all don't know what's going on. But dates and stuff. Maybe Bethany's dates. Oh, yeah. That's and we can go, where's that? Oh, golly. New York Post, CBS, NBC. Let me see. I like to do AP. They're neutral. NBC, Daily Mail, Instagram. Okay, I'm going to go back to the top and do one of those CBS or NBC. Let me go to the top here. I like New York Post, but yeah, let's do CBS. So, and I guess I'm going to write it down. I guess this is, anyway, let me, let's, okay. So, I guess we can read it together. I'm, I get all nervous when things aren't, that I'm taking extra time or whatever. I don't know how to explain what the stuff is. CBS. So this is, let's scroll up. So this is, surviving roommate in Idaho murders agrees to speak to Brian Kohlberger's attorney. And this is April 28th, one of the dates that they were all at the same time. And then I'm just going to skim, the suspect's attorneys had subpoenaed Funky to appear before the second, on June 28th, arguing she had information exculpatory to the defendant. It's starting on June 26th. So attorneys for Funky, it might be Funk. I don't know what it is. No date was specified in the court filings for the Reno, Nevada meetings. That's a quick, okay, let's see here. So Reno, Nevada. So that's old. Oh, the 28th. Oh, no date. Yeah, the 28th is, anyway, I was learning as I was reading, but the preliminary, this is all canceled now, but the preliminary hearing, I think is what it was called, was supposed to start June 26th, and the judge originally said it was formally one day, but it was, they set up time for 5, but it sounds like they started scheduling things. So Bethany was going to be the third day of that. She was going to be the 28th. So So, and that's just by skimming. You know, I didn't print it up. I didn't highlight it. That's the two things I need to do so that my brain feels confident that I know about it. I could spend 3 hours reading this on my screen, and I'm still not confident. I need to highlight it. So, and print it up. I have to be touching it so I can highlight it. I have touched many of computer monitors and laptop screens with a highlighter. I've done that many, many times. I've done it like at libraries. I've done it to other people's computers. So, yeah, I really, really like to highlight things. So, anyway, that was the 28th. I can't figure out what the thing is called. I would imagine attorneys. For the Reno, Nevada. So maybe I'll cut and paste that. So copy. So I just cut and paste court filings for the Reno. Can you all see that? I don't think you can. Yeah, I'm if I'm not staring at the word, I might have the incorrect name of it. The original thing, the June 26th thing. Preliminary hearing. Yes, it was called a preliminary hearing from June 26th, officially 1 day, but they're saying it could be up to 5 days, or it could be any number of days. But that is canceled. That is no longer. So Beth Funky going to June 28th is canceled too. That's part of that schedule. So anyway, let me stop this screen and present share screen. I think it's a new tab, maybe. Can you see that? Okay, so I don't know how high you can see it. I'm going to go off screen. Okay, I'm off screen. So I'm clicking way up top. So I don't know if you can see that way up top, but I cut and paste court filings for the Reno, Nevada meeting, which is a direct quote from that. You know, I took it, and then I stopped at meeting, and then the 4 choices is Bethany Funky, and then canceled Bethany Funky, and then meetings. So I bet those are just people like me trying to find out. I doubt if it's actually canceled, but I don't know if you all can see that. So I'm going to go to, I guess, canceled Bethany Funky. April 28th, April 27th. Gosh darn it. April 27th, April 26th. May 2nd. No, that's not much. No date has been given. April 21st, April 28th, May 1st. Okay, so let me they want to make it plural, but what I'm trying to do is find the it appears that I'm not going to be able to figure that out. So I don't know. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, so I find that interesting, but that's just me. Well, it might be me too. So you find it interesting that the preliminary hearing is canceled? I mean, I thought that was the main message about the grand jury. I mean, the grand jury is really important, but to me, the primary thing it's all really important. But the thing that smacked me in the face and that overwhelmed me and shocked me is that it canceled the preliminary hearing. and of course, all the other stuff is really important. So, is that what you mean? So, okay, preliminary hearing. So I'm not sure what the question mark is. I maybe I misread what you were saying there. Preliminary hearing? I thought you were saying, is that what it's correctly called? I thought that's what you were questioning, but you're now it sounds like you're questioning of why is it not still on, or I'm not sure what you're questioning. So, sorry, I'm a little, I'm yeah. So I think that's interesting, but that's just me. So that it's been canceled. So, no, that it was set up and then all of a sudden a grand jury indicts him. Okay. Now the preliminary hearing was set, in January or December. As soon as he came from Pennsylvania, and I don't have dates in front of me, but as soon as Kohlberger came from Pennsylvania to Idaho, the first court appearance set up June 26th. So the preliminary hearing was set up immediately. I think I was at the courts when that was set up, but it was set up immediately. And then, so that's nothing suddenly happened to that it's been around for 4 months, but no, I know LO, but the Bethany thing just got set up. Yeah, I mean all of it's nutty. Who knows, whether we think he's innocent or guilty. I think the bottom line is we want everything to be everything to be explored and everything to be explained and everything to be talked about and everything to be divulged, or I can't think of that, revealed. We want everything on the table. We don't want Bethany to be able to withhold something just because we don't want that. So I mean that's I have a strong opinion about Brian, but I want everything that I'm not like, boy, I hope Bethany gets kidnapped so she doesn't have to talk. I hope everything comes out. So yeah, I don't think her thing is canceled because of the grand jury. I think they are completely independent things. I'm sure Bethany's lawyer has been working since it was set up to figure out how to get her canceled, how to get it canceled. But I don't, so I don't think the grand jury is going to do it, but I might be wrong. I'm not shocked the preliminary hearing was canceled. LOL. I know it would be once an indictment came. Yes. Okay, cool. Anyway, I don't know. I can't explain what I mean, but it's not anything about the preliminary hearing. I said preliminary hearing because you asked what it was called. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Cool. Thank you. So I don't know what else to do. I would love to be able to research. I guess I've been spoiled by some, Lyndon Not Baines and stuff, of like, hey, find this for me. And but yeah, I think I've searched enough, at least initially. I'll do more once I'm off the stream today, but I would like to find Bethany Funky's meeting date with Kohlberger's lawyers. And it's been, it was the 26th and 27th and 28th of October. That's 3 weeks ago. It seems like they probably have already picked a date. I'm not sure why nothing's coming up with my research, but so I'd like to find the date, and then of course there would be articles about that if it was canceled. So I don't think it's canceled. I think it's still on. But yeah, most of what people, and I've seen so little. I almost want to go back to the way I was with YouTube Live and watch, 25 different streamers doing, 40 hours a night of everything about this stuff, which that's not happening anymore, but I bet it's going to ramp up a little bit because of this. But, and then you'd get a good overview and you get the, so, anyway, it seems like the very little research I have done, it does seem like um, the grand jury and the indictment and the canceling of the preliminary hearing is hugely disadvantageous to Brian. So, and he's got mega lawyers. So, I mean, one thing I was thinking about earlier before I went live is no matter what happens before the trial, no matter how something is, um, no matter what happens before the trial, no matter what's unfair or hiding or secretive or whatever it is, there's still the trial. So, I mean, that's when stuff gets discussed. So I think, yeah, this makes the whole thing so much more interesting. Like, what? And again, especially because a couple of days ago, you're saying, hey, I'm not sold on Brian being the uh, and I don't want to paraphrase what you said, but what I heard, is that you don't necessarily think he is the suspect, and he could be a supporting actor of the suspect or those kind of things. So, I mean, especially if you think that, then you're like, oh my goodness, how did this, what's going on here? And it just sucks, I mean, it just, whew. So, anyway, what was that other thing? I mean, maybe look at um, things are falling apart here. Sorry about that. Right. I don't think he's the guy. I think he's one of the guys, but not the main guy. Wow. That's, whoo. Man, let's start doing some panels. I want to get you up there. Have you explain some of that? I've been out of the loop, so I have no idea where any of that stuff would come from, but it would be interesting to hear you. I think he's involved somehow, just not what they're accusing him of. And, I mean, he's the smart one, and, he certainly could have done the research. And, I mean, I guess there is that. I'm going to butcher the details, but there was some military guy that kind of hung out near the house. And so they always talked about he got drunk and then stole the knife from Brian and then did it. And, so I guess there have been people floating around there. Some military guy obtained the knife from Brian and did the thing. So, I mean, yeah, for sure. And I know I'm not naive. I don't want to say that, all the lawyers are going to play nice and they're going to legally do everything and they're going to make sure the whole case is tried the way it's supposed to be tried. I mean, they want to win. So if there's a loophole or there's some catch that they can get off, even though he's completely guilty, or they can convict him even though he's completely innocent. I'm not going to be naive and think everybody's going to play well with each other, but I kind of have that philosophy. I kind of like, I don't wear the tin hat and I don't wear the aluminum. I'm not going to talk about whatever that word is. Conspiracy theory. I'm not going to be a conspiracy theorist and think, why, someone, did, they're just trying to get Brian. And I know, the cops probably had a lot of pressure on them. They were dumbass. And I was really hard on them, and I will continue being really hard on them. I think they're horrible. I hope the FBI did a better job and I wasn't as hard on them. But so they had a lot of pressure. So they probably wanted to get a warm body. They just wanted to get any warm body. So that kind of implies they might just railroad someone in. But I really do. And I'm not naive. I'm not saying that the lawyers are going to be super nice and super fair and super honest. But their job is to win or lose. The prosecutors are supposed to prosecute. The defenders are supposed to defend. That's it. That's their only job. It's not whether to prove them guilty or not, or believe that they're guilty or not. And the TV shows always have the lawyer goes, "Do you think your client did the murder?" And they go, "That's not for me to decide." And it's like, well, and then you find out later that he does think he did the murder, but he did his job and he got him off the case. So anyway, I hope he gets right. I learned that with Casey Anthony. I don't know that name, but that's okay. You don't have to spend too much time explaining Casey Anthony to me. I don't know who that is. I think I've heard the name, but I have no idea what he is. But yeah, I mean, so I can only hope. I think it's good. I personally, for me, I want to hope that Brian's going to get a fair shake. Whether the grand jury sped the process up and he couldn't, I'm hoping he's going to get a fair shake. I think it's going to happen. So anyway, I didn't really have much more else planned on this. I thank you so much for being here, B, because you had a bunch of comments and you had a great interaction and you were bringing up a bunch of stuff and I misinterpreted a lot of them or I couldn't quite understand them. So I asked for clarification and, I guess that's pretty typical me, but when we're doing a comment every 5 minutes, it's not it. But today I was, I needed clarification. So that was probably a little hectic for you or whatever. So anyway, I think this was whoa, I hit the wrong button. Leave studio. No, not leave studio. Stop screen is what I meant to do. Yes, of course, Joe. Well, cool. Thanks. So I guess this was my starting point. This is what do I need to research? And I want to write down a couple things before I sign off, just so I do. So I want to what are the things I want to do? I want to get Bethany's meeting date and time. And is Bethany canceled? And does May 22nd, Monday, have 2 events? 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. And was there can you think of anything else that I was questioning? I think there's 1 or 2 more things, but I can't readily think about it. But yeah, I mean, this was kind of a starting place. And again, for going to sleep at midnight and waking up at 3 wide awake and stressed out about Formula One and excited but stressed out about Ashley Banfield, and then doing all that research from 3 a.m., which is what that's, 14 and a half hours ago. I'm pretty pleased with how efficiently, I can't remember. I'm sorry. That's right. And it could also be things that you were questioning too. I'm not just thinking about what I was questioning or unsure of, but so anyway, yeah. So I guess I have those 4 things. When is Bethany's meeting? The date and time. Is Bethany's meeting canceled either because of the grand jury or independent of the grand jury? Does May 22nd, Monday, have 2 events? The 9 a.m., which I thought is the one they're talking about, the discovery thing. And then 11 is Gonsalves, which they could be the same event and I just messed up the times, or it could be 2 different things, or I might have the wrong date or whatever, or they changed the dates. There's a lot of changes that, again, I wanted to scroll down and show all the, hundreds. It looked like it was well over 150, 200 documents. But I mean, a ton of them are changes and cancels and reschedules. And, so you can have something and write it on your calendar and be set in stone. And then it's like, wow, they changed that. They did. So anyway. Okay. So there's a couple of races tonight. One at 5:45, 7:30, and 9:45. And Neil's probably going to send me the anyway. Blah, 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 blah. I don't talk about that on streams. Anyway, I will. Blah blah blah. I can't even say that. Anyway, I will telepathically become aware of some events tonight that I might do yeah, it's not a watch along, but anyway, so I might be doing some of that, and I hope to do a stream about Formula One, about the as I keep mentioning, the Emilia Romagna GP region cancel. I'd like to just put a bow on that and send it off and finish it. So look at all those Nightbots. I definitely need to get up to date on a couple of those. But and sometime I want to highlight I swear, I mean, I have probably, I probably have 25, 30 things. I have probably 25, 30 things that are supposed to be posted every 5 minutes. And I think I get the same 10 over and over and over and over. I haven't done it. I haven't highlighted like, okay, this one has been sent. This one has been sent. But it seems like Nightbot gets hung up on a couple of them and sends them. And then Nightbot does not get hung up on the others and don't send the other ones. All right. I'll keep an eye out, Joe. Cool. Well, thanks. And like I said a couple of times, there seemed to be a little funk with me today. And so I apologize for that. I guess I was in a bad mood and I misinterpreted some of the comments and stuff. So anyway, as I always say, I think I'm always restless, irritable, and discontent. But sometimes I can, I never use the word lighten up, but, can laugh and enjoy, and, you're very funny. And so you help me, do things and stuff. But anyway, seemed like I was a little rough around the edges today. At least it felt like to me. Joe, don't worry. You're fine. Cool. But okay. Let's see who the two is. Probably YouTube, and they're both YouTube. Wow, my Twitch person is not there. So it might be Lyndon, not Baines, and B Survivor. Wow, my Twitter person is there all the time. I'm sorry, not Twitter. I mean Twitch. My Neil is my dependable Twitch person, but he always comments, and he's YouTube also, but he's Twitch initially. He was initially Twitch, and he still comes in that way. But anyway, he usually comments, but for probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks, there's always one Twitch person that makes no comments and comes every time. So they're not there. That's kind of weird. I wonder what happened. So, but there are two YouTubers. Hello, searcher of the ears, or you know me. Baines, is that you? Baines, come on, show up, man. Lyndon, not Baines. Baines, is that you? Mud, I'm here just doing Mud, did you just switch from YouTube? Wait a minute. It still shows 0. For Twitch, it shows 0. So I wonder if you're one of the two. I don't know if you're also on YouTube. I don't know if you have two devices going. So you might be the number 2 in YouTube, but I think there it is. Now it's showing Twitch 1 and YouTube. Hey, Mud. So I think B, you're completely aware that Mud is Neil and Neil is Mud, and he's the same person for both streams. LOL. Hey, Mud. So anyway, Mud, that first race is in 9 minutes, 5:45. So anyway, so I'm going to start heading out. Thank you, B. Thank you, Mud, for showing up. 1 YouTube, B, and 1 Twitch. Mud. Come on, Mud. Were you really over on YouTube? So that probably was not Baines. like the real not Baines, not the fake not Baines, but it really was not Baines instead of not Baines. You know what I mean? I assumed, but it's good to get the confirmation. And he's uh he, anyway, B, we're not doing much of Discord's audio thing, but Neil and I have done some extended. I don't like the phone, and he's got me on Discord, and I'm not a talker, and 4 hours will disappear. Oh my goodness. So anyway, yeah, it's mud is Neil, Neil is mud. Okay, I'm gonna try to relax, and then try to figure out what the next thing I'm gonna do, and then probably start focusing on North Wilkesboro Speedway in 7 minutes. 7 minutes, Neil. So if it's on time, I mean, I would imagine they're not like NASCAR, even though it's kind of a NASCAR event, or at least a NASCAR track. So they're not really, perfect on their timing, but they might be. So, all right, Joe, I'll see you later. Bye, Neil. Cool. All right. My forever goodbyes. B, Neil, thank you very much. B, that was great. That was great. I've been so dormant on Idaho 4, so that was great to hash some of that stuff out. That was and I think I was restless, irritable, and discontent because of the topic. I mean, it's so very sad. It's so extreme. It's it's not victims. It's not Koberger. It's for victims. It's for people. So I think that's probably why I was rough around the edges. But it was so great to, it's no longer June 26th. I'm not going out to I agree. I'm obsessed with this case. Plus, you seem to have done more research than me. And which you talked about, and I've said I've been dormant, but June 26th is now no longer on the calendar. So I'm not going, I'm going to go to Idaho in a month. I don't know when the trial will start. I have no idea, but I think I've heard. I have no idea, and I forget what people have said, but I think they've said 4 to 6 weeks or something like that. So it might still be about the same time, but it's a different thing. It's the trial instead of the preliminary hearing. So anyway, yes, it's a horrific time. That's why I'm restless, irritable, and discontent, or more so than normal. So anyway, thank you for goosh, 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 goosh. And panel. B, I know I keep saying that, but I think one time I'm going to invite you up. And anyway, I know I've talked about it. I know you've said, you're rusty and stuff, but I don't do panels anymore. And that's not, panels aren't one person's responsibility. That's why it's a panel and stuff. But anyway, I think we need to go in that direction, and I'm doing the dirt racing. Why the F am I talking? Why is not Neil talking? So I mean, there should be panels. You don't have to show your face. You don't have to show your feet. You don't have to show your, whatever. You can show your nothing. You can show your, I'll get back up there. Come on, you're my Brian defendant. I want you to be the Brian defendant. You can be that's what you are on the panel. So, okay, good to hear. All right. Blah, 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 blah. So, okay. Thank you so much. And I'm not doing those goodbyes anymore. That was really taking a lot of energy from me. And I think it helped with numbers, but it takes so much energy to do. So I do the end broadcast twice, and then pretty shortly after that, I leave the studio. I don't do those, go through the 8, platforms or destinations extensively. I might touch base with them real quick, but it's real quick. So anyway, okay, end broadcast in 3, 2, 1. I hit it the first time. Now, the second time it ends right away. I'm going to start saying goodbye and waving before I get there. So I'm going to hit end broadcast in 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.